Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 278 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Schwan.
How we doing?
Schwan Man. He's the Schwan Man. This is the first time. Does anybody know the Schwan Man?
We've done this before.
But it's been a while.
Yeah, but
comment below. Let us know if you know the Schwan Man.
Yeah.
If it's the first time you're ever seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure you like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. If you only listen on audio services, that's cool too. Just give us a 5-star review, a thumbs up, or whatever your service allows. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, where for just $1 a month, you get the podcast live one day early. $5, you get a bonus episode every month. $10, you get to watch us record the podcast live on YouTube. And if you're crazy enough to give us $20, you can choose the bonus episode and record with us if you so choose. Some of the people that I've mentioned, I got to figure out how to do this transition, because I'm like, and also,
speaking of which,
yes, speaking of patrons, I would like to shout out our affiliates, James Solar, Sarah Solar, John Tingley, and Derek Bamford, as well as our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, Vernon Slayton, and Dustin Downs. If you like cool t-shirts and the like, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop. How you doing, Shawnee? Schwan Man.
Schwaliza.
The Schwami. Is that what Chris Berman is?
The Schwami. Hey, good. Go. Oh. Hey. I'm good. I'm tired. I don't know.
I'm tired too. Blue 30-inch. Well, Nick's got his bat, so it's not his. Just got done watching a Little League baseball game. We're recording this about an hour later than we normally do, or over an hour actually. So we're both kind of tired, but we are here. Stay tuned for next week. I don't know, because Easter's this weekend and we got family coming in town and stuff, and we'll play it by ear. But by next week, we will have our next Versus episode up. So if nothing else, you'll have that next week. But I'm not sure about a full podcast episode, but we'll see how that goes next week. Sean,
yes.
If you don't have anything other to talk about other than the Schwan Man, what have you been playing this past week, and how is Dark Souls? Did you beat it yet?
I beat it.
Did you really?
Like 2 hours ago.
Wow.
Trophy wise, I think I've only got like 4, maybe 5 more trophies for the platinum. But that involves beating the game. So according to the trophy guide, you have to beat it 3 times, because there's 3 endings, and some of the trophies you can, but so some of the trophies are get all the rings, get all the spells, but spells are either miracles, pyromancies, or maybe it's just spells.
Is this
they're like broken into
Demon
3
Souls
categories.
Was? Or that was only 2, I think.
Sort of, but it seems like there's way more in this.
Yeah.
But some of the rings, remember in Elden Ring, you might find like a, I don't know, life ring or something. And then you might find a life ring +1 and then a life ring +2. So those kinds of things are in this game, except all of the +1 rings don't show up until New Game Plus. And all of the +2 rings don't show up until New Game +2. There's also 3 endings. So the trophy guide just says, beat it, do this ending, beat it again, do this ending, beat it again, do this ending.
And get those collectibles.
So I went ahead.
So wait, how long did it take you to beat it?
I'm right at like 30 hours.
Well, that's not horrible.
I got what I would say is maybe...
Hey, John, what's up, man?
What's up? I think I got like the middle ending, just because...
Is it like a good, bad kind of a thing? Like
kinda,
tendency and all that crap?
Not really. It's... beat the game. The one I did was beat the game, but get this one item, which is in an optional area. The third ending is kind of Elden Ring-esque, where there's like different people's side quests you have to complete or something. It seems a lot more involved. But I'm like, I've already done everything I need for the second ending, which was really just get this one item. So I save scummed it. So I knocked out 2 endings.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking maybe I won't need to do an entire third playthrough. In theory, the only thing I should need to do on my third playthrough, since I don't need to beat the game, assuming I get
those
the
rings.
ending correctly in New Game Plus, my New Game Plus 2, I should get the platinum once I've gotten all the rings, which should just be the +2 rings. And maybe there's only a handful of them, and maybe you get them all in like the first half of the game. I don't know. So I'm hoping that'll save me some time. But yeah, I've only got like 4 or 5 trophies to go, but it's going to be a lot. And I need to do it a lot more with a guide this time, because there were so many times where, you know, I'd be looking at a map and it'd be like, ooh, so-and-so of the Black
Order
Belt Society, whatever. And I'm like, I go there and there's nobody there. And I'm like, I'd look up this guy and like, well, he only appears there if you did this, this, and this. And I'm like,
between the hours of 12 and 3 a.m.
Yeah, and so there's all these things that I just didn't really do, like side quests that I screwed up or ignored for too long and they disappeared, things like that.
Oh, gosh.
And most of them don't matter unless the side quest nets you a spell or a ring or something like that. So I got to pay a little bit closer attention to some of that stuff, but I'm also hoping, unless there's rings that I need or spells, which I should have already gotten in some of the optional areas, I don't need to go back there.
Yeah.
Unless I need to do something for like this last ending. But I think playthrough 2 and 3, from just a % of the game explored, should be more straightforward than the first one. But I also need to do it carefully to make sure I don't screw something up.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got one more playthrough, or at least a partial playthrough anyway, so if I do screw something up, I know I've already got to do New Game Plus 2 for a certain amount of it, but
so I already forget.
I'm in deep enough that I'm going to get the platinum.
You've come so far. I can't even. I know. If you look at Sean's trophy list, it's like whatever game it's like platinum, 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 platinum. I don't like trophies.
I'm obsessed now.
But wait, so I can't remember, what is the actual layout like in this game? I know it's not a hub and spoke like Demon Souls.
It's like Bloodborne.
It's one
there's
world,
this
but
area,
it's linear.
And then if you go over here, there's a boss, and if you beat them, it lets you into this area. But you can also fight this optional boss over here that'll take you to this area, and then you can also get to this area from that area, and then there's a shortcut which will take you back to here, and then it's just kind of it's not linear by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not a hub and spoke like Demon Souls, and it's also not just open like
Understand,
Elden
John.
Ring.
Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it a lot. I started New Game Plus just briefly, just to get to like the first. It's not like a tutorial boss, but there's a boss pretty early in the game. Like not
like
even
that big fat boy in Demon Souls at the very beginning, the Vanguard or something.
I would say equivalent to that,
Okay.
yeah. Except in Demon Souls, you're not expected to beat
Right.
him. In
You can,
Dark Souls,
but, yeah.
you have to beat him. It's the first boss.
Oh, okay.
But it's not like the tutorial guy in Elden Ring that's literally just like a soldier. But it's also not like
But there's
Marga.
also that guy in Elden Ring, because I did New Game Plus. There's that other boss when you get out of there. If you don't go the tutorial route, you go out there and then you find a boss. I killed him because I was on New Game Plus, but like I forgot about him until I got there. I was like, oh yeah, this guy smoked me the first. And then you die and you come back to life, and that's when you start at your opening steps or whatever it's called.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of like Vanguard or whatever in Demon Souls. But this is like the first boss. And like in my first game, my first playthrough, it took me 3-4 tries to beat him probably. This time I smoked him. I'm one hit killing enemies. The boss, it's like you get him down to about half health, and then he like mutates into this other thing.
Does it do
And
cutscenes?
I
like
killed
Elden Ring?
him. There's a lot of bosses that do, but this guy, it's just
Right.
and I killed him like while he was transforming. So like, I think it's going to be pretty easy. And none of the storyline bosses were that difficult. The hardest boss, I think, I also just beat right before the end of the game, was the Nameless King. It's the closest
I feel like
thing.
I've heard of him.
So it's this guy. It's a 2-part fight. First fight, it's him riding a dragon. And then the second
cool.
part is just him.
Okay.
But surprisingly, the second part is a lot harder. It's the closest thing to Melania, but like nowhere near. The final boss, he's not a pushover like Demon Souls, but nowhere near Elden Beast and Radagon. Like, just kind of honestly an easier final boss than Bloodborne. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's now kind of like Demon Souls, where Demon Souls wasn't that hard to platinum. It was just annoying because of all the light and dark tendency kind of crap, and that's kind of where I'm at with it now. It's not going to be a challenge per se to get the platinum. It's just going to be annoying, and I feel like it's going to be like Guardians, where I'm just like, I need to follow a guide to make sure I don't miss something and screw something up. But I think the hard part is done now. But I love it.
Where does it rank?
Think
you've played 4, right? Bloodborne, DS3, Elden Ring, and Demon.
Yeah. I loved Demon Souls.
Me too.
Well, gosh. I said that because I was going to say it's probably my least favorite. And it probably is.
But I thought you might say
but it's like, it's probably my least favorite, but it's like a 9 out of 10. It's so similar to Bloodborne. Like, you've got Elden Ring and Demon Souls are kind of the opposite ends of the spectrum, just in terms of, I mean, it's the first and the last game.
Yeah.
It's furthest thing from linear and absolutely, well, I mean, but Demon Souls isn't really linear.
But it's choose your own adventure, but it's still, it's levels.
Right. I would say it's Elden Ring. Man, I think it's Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne.
What?
Demon Souls.
You'd put it over Bloodborne?
I think so.
Wow. So why?
I never got good with like the guns in Bloodborne.
Yeah.
It's weird. This like you don't get a shield, but instead you have a gun that just kind of works
parry,
like a shield. Yeah. I like just having a sword and shield.
Yeah.
I have spells that I've collected. I never used a single one. Like, this was pure. So you were all melee throughout.
HP and dexterity and endurance, whatever they're called in it. Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's so similar to Bloodborne. The layout, the graphics, the just everything. But I think I like it a little better just because it's a little bit more traditional. Now, if Bloodborne 2 ever gets announced, like, I'll be over the moon. I absolutely love it. I think I like this a smidge better. And it's mainly just because I either have a shield or a gun.
Yeah.
I'll take the shield. I don't know. And I feel like all the bosses in Bloodborne are just like very similar. They're all just like, right. Like, I know they all kind of look different, but like off the top of my head, Cleric Beast, Bloodstarved Beast, Vicar Amelia. There's like so many bosses in Bloodborne that all just, if you showed me a picture of one of them, I'd be like, I don't remember which one that is. They all just look kind of the same. And the strategy, I feel like there's not a lot of strategy in them. It's like, this one doesn't move quite as fast, so just stay right against his butt, and then you can stay pretty safe and just hack away at it. I don't know. And there's some of that in Dark Souls 3 too, but I'd give it a slight... I mean, it's like Elden Ring 10 out of 10, Dark Souls 3, 9.7, Bloodborne 9.3, and Demon Souls like 9. I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, I'm hooked. I really just don't have any desire to do Sekiro.
I was going to ask.
Part of me, like, I've seen enough of it, like videos, and it's all just like, there's no, you don't just go like, ha, 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 to kill enemies. It's like all about blocking and dodging and parrying and waiting for your one, like, kill shot.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that doesn't, I feel like there's little room for error. I feel like in all the other games, you can kind of play the game however you want to. And I'm sure there's some of that in Sekiro, but it just seems like that's how you have to play it. You don't just whittle down their HP. You just block and dodge and parry and whatever till you get your chance, and then you stab them and they're dead kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't know. I do kind of want to play Dark Souls 2. I'd like to think they'll maybe be included in PS Plus and whatever, so I'm probably not going to run out and buy them. But if they're on there, I will probably play through them at some point. But I got it's 30 hours so far. I would guess I've got at least another 30 hours. Like, it took me 30 hours for one pretty involved playthrough. I've now got to do 1.5 to 2 more playthroughs, but on a much more streamlined basis, and I'm going to be smoking people at least for the beginning part. So I don't know. I would guess maybe I'm halfway through time-wise, maybe a little over it, but I'll definitely get the platinum. It's just I'm just going to have to suck it up and do it. But yeah, that's all I've played.
Well, speaking of Soulsborne, I did, just on a whim, I was like, you know what? I beat Elden Ring. I talked about it last week on the podcast. Thanks, John. Beat Elden Ring last week, and I was like, you know what? Well, I was going to start New Game Plus, and then I went, and why did I want to beat that boss? I was trying to think that. Why did I want to beat the big serpent whatever dude? Did I have a reason for that?
Just because you weren't ready to give up on the game, but I think you also just weren't ready to do New Game Plus yet.
Yeah.
So you were asking, like, was there any other bosses
right.
I should? And that was when I told you, I'm like, just look for, like, pull up a map and look for caves and catacombs.
But I went to that was in the volcano thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to Volcano Manor.
And I think I had told you that was just probably, of all of the optional bosses, that was probably the coolest just because it was different.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it was very different.
Yeah.
Standing in fire and fighting a gigantic snake and whatever.
Yeah.
I died a couple times. There's a special weapon you can get there. I got that, and I was like, I don't like this weapon. So I just went back to the katana, and I was slicing him up, and I had my mimic
So you did
tier.
the whole thing with Moonveil?
Yeah. I did the mimic tier, Moonveil, and that damn carrion. Did you ever get that thing in your playthrough? My magic daggers thing?
Oh. I don't know. I never used it.
It is amazing. I still am using the original shield I got. Leveled up to 22, I think it was. After that, I was like, I don't want to do the exploit and buy another, then do this again, and I'm done. It's fine. But you get the carrying.
So what does leveling up a shield do? I thought it was only if you actually are like hitting people to like.
But if you're doing something, so the carrying retaliation that I got. So what you do is you have to buy that from this one merchant, and then you get a wraith calling bell out in the lake region somewhere. Once you have that, you go bling, ling, ling. And if you just do that, it shoots like this. Remember those guys that were all over the lake region that they would attack you? It would just be a slow-moving yellow ball thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where you get the Wraith Calling Bell. However, if you've also bought the Carrion Retaliation thing, which you can attach it, I think it's an Ash of War or something, that you can attach it to your shield. You do the bell, and then you parry, and it makes these 3 magic daggers come up. And every level up that you do of your shield, it makes them more and more ridiculous. That's how I ended up beating the final boss finally. Was that and a combination of trying to stay on him with Mimic Tier, and I finally got him when I was like, oh, it was horrible. But so yeah, I beat that boss. I can't remember what the hell his name was now. The big snake guy.
Rykard.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, the first part's like God-eating serpent or something like that, and then the second part is
turns his back around. He's like, I have a face. Yeah, like
pulls the sword out. Yeah.
Then I was like, you know what? I'm not ready to be done yet. What the heck? I'm gonna fire up New Game Plus. So I fired up New Game Plus. I went through the starting area, killed the boss that killed me the first time. But then after you beat that thing, you'd walk,
and
then you die, and you start off.
Yeah.
And then I was like, the main reason I wanted to do New Game Plus was I was like, I'm going to go right up to that tree sentinel. I'm going to beat his ass the first time. So I wake up and I go out there and I'm like, hey, buddy. I run over there and I don't know that I have my horse yet. So I just run over there on foot. I'm like, come on, let's go. And he still does a lot of damage. All those tree sentinels in that game do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And he got me and I was pissed. And then I went to like say, can I summon Mimic Tier? And I was like, oh, I've got my horse already. Okay, cool. Go over there, riding around him in circles, do a little dash to get away, come back, smoked him. Felt so good. And then going through that initial area, going through the forest and stuff, when you go over to Stormville Castle, I'm like, these poor soldiers. I'm like, it's like 1,400 damage. They've got like 110 HP or something. killing them all, run through the ruins there, kill everybody there, kill the wolves, all that. I remember I died there like 5 or 6 times. And I was trying to sneak around, be really careful, like pick this guy off.
Yeah, this time you just go in, hey guys, I'm here.
Let's go. And then going to Stormvale Castle. I still didn't feel like fighting that giant that drops down. I was like, I want to get to the bosses. So I got there. I think finding Margaret is pretty, because you're not even in the castle until you
just go through
Margaret.
The gate and you kind of follow the thing, the path, and then he just jumps down right before you can go in the castle.
Yeah. And I fought Margaret my first time. I did my Mimic Tier. Or no, I didn't even do Mimic Tier. Wait, did I do Mimic Tier? I didn't do Mimic Tier because I wanted to fight him one-on-one, but I did the carrion thing. I smoked this dude so hard without dying. It felt so good. Not only that, before he turns to his second form, as he was like going, I'm just with Moonveil just. By the time he got to his second form, he had like 25% health. And I was like, dude, I don't even need carrying retaliation anymore. You're going down. You just hit him like 4 more times, dead. And he's like, oh, tarnished. So I saved, and I was like, I'm going to keep going for a little bit. And then I remember what you said about Stormvale being confusing. I was like, oh, yeah, this is confusing. But I made my way through. That's where you're going, like, once you get inside of the thing, there's all these, like, steps you go up, and there's a wooden floor, and then there's guys up here throwing, like, fire bombs at you, and you got to find the key. And I remember the first time I found the key.
It's in that room with the giant knight or whatever.
And that time you're like, just get the key, die, you're fine. This time I got the key, forgot the knight was in there, and all of a sudden it's like the door shuts. I'm like, it's dark, I can't see anything. And then all of a sudden I just see this guy like wakes up, and I'm like, oh, I remember now. Grab the key, smoked him.
Really?
Unlock the door, go out. As I started going through there, I was like, oh yeah, this is where there's that giant like spider kind of enemy thing that I avoided.
It's the same thing that you fight at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
Except he's like a boss the first time you see him.
Yeah. And then I remembered, okay, I run by him, I go outside, then I'm in the grassy area. I'm like, oh, I remember this. There's like 5 waves of enemies with all like the wooden barricades
that part,
and stuff.
I just ran through there my first time.
I did it again. So I was like, I ain't dealing with this. And I found the site of grace, save, rest, wake up. I'm like, okay, I kind of remember I go over here, do this, blah, 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 blah. And I got to the site of grace right before him, before Godric. I was like, okay, let's do this. Save, wake up. Go in there, Mimic Tier, carrying retaliation, smoked him.
Really?
Just destroyed him. And I'm like, man, the only reason I didn't keep going, because I was like, now I don't remember how to get to the second. I know it's in the middle of the lakes, but I was like, I don't remember how. I know you got to go in to Raya Lucaria in the southeast, but I can't remember how you get to where, and then you like warp from there to the north.
To like the north, yeah.
And then you can actually
get make your way back through.
But I was like, I just don't even remember how to get in here. But I think I do want to keep going, just because I would like to now fight that stupid boss that I died at her like so many times. And apparently Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, apparently a lot of people think she's by far the easiest boss in the game.
I think she's easier than Godfrey. So I think you'll really.
I did better, her. But I think I was a lot better. I mean, I was more leveled up, but I was also better playing the game when I got to Godfrey.
You got to her.
But But now I want to fight her. Like, I know how to play this game now, and I'm very powerful, and I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm not gonna die at you 15 times.
See,
but a lot of people think she's either super easy or they're like me and they struggle like forever against her.
Yeah, she can be. I think a lot of it is just how the second phase goes and what she summons. Yeah. But see, what's weird is I don't know. I would have sworn that I can never remember anybody's name. The guy, Radon, the guy you fight, the giant guy where you can summon all your friends in like the desert or whatever. I would have thought that was optional because it doesn't seem to do anything. You don't get access to any new areas, whatever.
Did I fight him, or did I fight the guy that
we
also
fought him
has
together? But you like smoked him.
That was the guy. So I wonder if when I beat him, because there was a period of time where he was nerfed big time, and then they like last week they did another patch that brought his damage that he deals way back up. So
yeah,
I wonder
when
if
we
that's
fought
why.
him, you like smoked him.
Yeah,
or I can't even remember. Was I there? Or
I think you were just watching.
Maybe I was just watching you play. But yeah, you smoked him. But So you fight him, and then that's when the falling star comes and blows up that area.
That's why,
But I don't know that anything
and
down
that's how you
there,
get mimicked here, right?
That's where you get mimicked here, but I don't know that going down there really gets you anything else. So I don't know. But everything I've read says he's not optional. So I don't know at what point you would be stuck if you didn't fight him. Like, can you just not get into the capital? Like, at what point are you stopped if you didn't fight him? I don't really know how that works, but yeah. Have you like leveled up much in New Game Plus, or are you like so leveled
twice.
Up that
like twice
you don't even get enough to?
Every time I can do it now though, because I'm at like I ended at 56 or 7 vigor, I think. My intelligence is 60. So I've been putting everything else into endurance, just even though it just goes up by a little bit. It's like after a few levels up, it's like I can get one more hit in your combo. I'm like, it's worth it. And there's nothing else I need at this point. I don't need dex or anything else. I could do dex to get more power with the katana, but at this point it's so OP it doesn't even matter. I just like to do endurance. But
yeah.
So I don't know. I think I'll probably go back to it again.
You're now further than I ever did in New Game Plus.
I don't have a platinum to show for it. But yeah, so that's Elden Ring New Game Plus. The only other thing I've played, a little bit of Tunic. I don't know why it's just not... Like, I played it for like an hour at lunch today. So there's like, in the beginning, I can't remember how much this I said last week, but there's like 2 intro kind of area / dungeon things they have to do to bring these 2 giant tuning forks to open this seal, do whatever. Then after that, you get to the Zelda part where there's 3 gems you have to get to bring it here to unlock the thing and do whatever, like James was talking about in the Discord. So now I've beaten the first 2 dungeons of that. The second one was the library. That was the one that I was like, I could never beat this dude. I'm just turning on God mode. I don't care. Because this is not even like, this is the one where I said, like, you're on this little pillar and he's floating out here and you get a little sword. So I had to do the hook shot thing to try to bring him over close enough so I could hit him. And I was like, this would not be fun at all without God mode. So
yeah.
But then after that, I wandered around today at lunch, on my lunch break for like an hour, just trying to figure out like where the heck I'm supposed to go next. I finally got there, but it took an hour of exploring. And then when I get in there, there's like this, I don't even know what the hell happened. You get in there and there's these enemies that aren't too tough. Kill them. And then all of a sudden I get close to one of this obelisk thing, but it's got like this pink energy coming out. And the pink energy, not only does it like take your life away, it lowers your HP bar.
There's enemies like that in Dark Souls 3, and it's
really
maybe my least favorite part of the game.
So you're just like, I'm dead.
And all they have to do is look at you. When they look at you and you're within like... Basically, if they can see you, unless you're like super far away, your health just like your max health, and then eventually it starts going back up. But just your max goes back up. But where your health is, like if you have full health, it goes down, and then it'll eventually go back up, and now you have no health. But yeah, so when you're fighting them, they're doing their thing. You can't heal because you're already at max health, and it's just they suck. But
yeah, this, I don't know. I kept using my potions. I killed one of the enemies. They dropped a heart. I got that. Nope, nothing I could do. So I was like, okay, this is just... There's something, like, I don't know if I said it on the podcast or I just told Sean, like a pizza night or something, but it's like, Elden Ring is incredibly difficult, but it's a fun difficult. Except for when I got to that last one. I was just like, I'm beating my head against the wall. And Godskin Duo. But Tunic is like, it's super ridiculously tough, and it's just like... annoying.
Yeah, tough. There's something about the Soulsborne games, because it happened a lot with Elden Ring. It definitely happened with Dark Souls. It probably happened in Demon Souls and Bloodborne, where like I'll be stuck on a boss for a while, and then I beat him, and I'm just like, and I'm like, all right, let's go. But it also would happen in games. I mean, like Death's Door is the first one I can think of where I'd be struggling with a boss or a certain area or whatever. And once I'd beat it, I would just be like, oh, thank God. And I put it down, I turn it off, and I'm just done. But like with Elden Ring, I don't know, whenever I would get past the part that I was stuck, it just like drove me to go forward. But other games, yeah, I just like, once I get past a part, I'm like, thank God, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
It's like when I beat Stupid Fire Giant, that was one of those, I can do this. And then Godskin Duo showed up, and I was like, I can't do this. Oh, I was watching today. I was just bored, and I went on YouTube, and I saw PewDiePie was playing Elden Ring. I guess he's on his second playthrough or something, because he knew what he was doing and where to go and all this. And he got to Godskin Duo, and he pulled out some arrows that if he shoots them with it 3 times, they go. And he puts them to sleep. And then he did it to the skinny guy. Yeah, I'm like, nope, these were actual. Like, he walked in there with a bow and arrow, and he's doing like 60 damage. I was like, what the heck is happening? And then the fat guy just goes. Then he goes and he does it to the skinny guy. And then he goes back to start with his. He had like a dual wield. I think he had like a moon veil and a Kuchikatana, whatever it's called. And he was just. But then the guy wakes up and he just starts rolling his fat ass around, and he got him. He's like, okay, yeah, I'm done for today. But I was like, I didn't know there were arrows that could put enemies to sleep in this.
Yeah, I had no idea. That's crazy.
But yeah, Tunic, I don't know. I
wait. So where are you? Are you on the third, or you're on your way to the third?
I'm now into the
dungeon?
Third true dungeon.
Okay.
And then after that, James said there's like one more significant thing you have to do, and then the final dungeon. I'm just like, I don't know what to do about these pink rock things that are just taking away all my health. Like, I don't know if it seems like maybe I got too close to them or something. But then the enemies, then some of these enemies' hair like looked like they had like a laser sight rifle or something with a pink line pointing at me, and then I'd get shot. And I was like, well, is that draining my health too, or am I just getting shot? Like, I don't know what the hell's happening. So I don't know. I want to see it through, but I'm almost like, I think I'd just rather play more Elden Ring right now.
Yeah.
And I still got to go back and play Horizon. I got to get that platinum. I can't let that just hang out there. And I think I do want to play GTA 5. I don't know. I got to just try to... it's not a stink bug, but it's a bug. Yeah. It's not a mosquito, is it?
It's something.
It's like a little skeeter eater is what it looks like. I know that you'd say, well, that looks like a mosquito.
That would just be a mosquito. You're going to squish him. He's going to drop on my head. As long as he doesn't bite
Can we get through one podcast without getting attacked by a freaking bug? Seriously. All right. But yeah, I don't know about Tunic. I would like to finish it, but I don't know. There's something about it. It's just not. I don't know if it's just the difficulty. It's just not clicking with me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But now I kind of want to go back and play Golden Axe Warriors or whatever it's called.
I'm going to guess that game is not very good.
It looks good from what I saw. I mean, it looked like Zelda.
I mean, it did, but
8-bit Sega Zelda. Sega Zelda. So yeah, I don't know. All right. Sean.
Yes.
I've not played anything else. So do you want to get the news of the week?
Let's do it.
Last week was not slow. Last week had a lot of stuff going on. This week, however, it's a bit on the slow side. So these are the stories that I picked out. Why can I not scroll? What the hell is happening? Oh, I'm too high up. Okay. Max Payne is getting some remakes. This comes from IGN. Remedy and Rockstar Games have announced that they will be remaking Max Payne and Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. In a surprise announcement, Remedy will work with Rockstar under a new publishing agreement to remake the first 2 Max Payne games for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Remedy will be handling the development while Rockstar will finance the project, quote, which will be in line with a typical Remedy AAA game production, end quote. The Max Payne remakes will also be developed on Remedy's Northlight game engine, the same engine used to develop Control and the upcoming Alan Wake 2, which looks beautiful. That's a good thing. The original Max Payne games were also a result of a partnership between Remedy and Rockstar, with Remedy handling development and Rockstar publishing. Rockstar also handled the development of Max Payne 3. I don't think I knew that.
Mm-mm.
Severe thunderstorm watch in effect for Collierville from 9:20 until 4 a.m. Great. Perfect timing. Remedy CEO Taro Vertala said, Max Payne has always had a special place in the hearts of everyone at Remedy, and we know the millions of fans worldwide feel the same. Furtala added that the team is excited to, quote, bring the story, action, and atmosphere of the original Max Payne games back to the players in new ways. The project is sounding like a full remake given that it will be developed on Remedy's newest engine and it will have a matching AAA budget. It's tantalizing to imagine the original Max Payne games built using the same engine as Control and Alan Wake 2. Remedy had a successful run as of late with Game of the Year 2019 winner Control. This is according to IGN Game of the Year. And a new partnership with Epic Games for Alan Wake 2. Almost said Alan Games. Now Remedy will return to another beloved franchise with the Max Payne remakes. I've never played Max Payne. Have you?
Is this the game that had like the bullet time and stuff? What was the first one on?
360?
I gotta
and
look it up.
PS2. Or no, that would have been PS3. Sorry.
Yeah, it would have been PS3, but I think it was PS2. Anyways,
I just can remember his head being like a big box.
Yeah. Like that.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I played it, but I never owned it. So I'm guessing I rented it, but I don't really remember really
Could you
renting
rent games then?
PS2 games unless it was on. No, okay. Windows, PS2, PS3, PS5, Xbox 360. Yeah. So I must have rented it on PS2 or something. I thought it was fine. I don't know. I don't really have much of a... I don't know. It means nothing to me. I don't know. This is one of those things that, like, if it comes out and the reviews are, like, amazing, I might check it out, but I'm just, like, I don't think I care.
But it's also, like... Now, there's been some good remakes. Resident Evil 2. Final Fantasy 7. Resident Evil 3 was okay. But it's, like... We know Last of Us Remake. We don't know for sure. But we know Last of Us Remake is coming. Why? Do we really need remakes of Max Payne and Max Payne 2?
There's a lot of other games I'd rather have remade than this.
Right.
But, I don't know. I think these games do have somewhat of a cult following kind of thing.
Oh, for sure.
So I think people are pretty stoked. I don't know. I don't think I care.
But it's like Remedy has got a lot going on. So they've got... So these two remakes... Oh, and they're going to be sold as one package game, which is cool. That's good. I like that it is current gen only.
Yes.
Or next gen, if that's how you want to say it. But like they've got these being remade. They're working on, I think, a sequel to Control or something in the Control universe, whatever they've said. And Alan Wake 2. Like how big is Remedy?
Bigger than I realized, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, if Rockstar is financing it, that's going to help and everything. But they said that the games currently are just at the concept development stage, which means these are not coming out
3 years.
Yeah, at the earliest. And it's cool that they're using the Northlight engine. I don't think I'd ever heard that before, that was the engine they use for Control. Excuse me, and what Alan Wake 2 will be made on. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, all I remember about Max Payne is the bullet time stuff, and it was never enough to make me want to play it. So
no.
I don't know if it'll make me want to play it this time or not. Next up, and things we don't really care about, randomly on a Sunday morning, I woke up to the news that Kingdom Hearts 4 has been announced. This comes from Game Informer as part of the series' 20th anniversary celebration. No platforms are confirmed, and neither is a possible release date. The trailer ends with the phrase, quote, magic in the making, end quote, suggesting the title is still quite a ways off.
Duh.
Kingdom Hearts 3 took what?
A decade.
10, 12 years? Like Final Fantasy 15 came out before Kingdom Hearts 3. The announcement comes at the end of the trailer embedded above, which you can't see here because I'm not going to embed it, which features a big compilation of all the footage shown during the anniversary event in Tokyo. In a press release, Walt Disney Games director Nana Gad explained how honored the team is to work with Tetsuya Nomura for 2 decades. Quote, this glimpse into Sora's next adventure is just the beginning. We can't wait to show more when the time is right. End quote. I never thought in a million years we would wake up on a random Sunday and find out that Kingdom Hearts 4 is happening. I really almost said Kingdom Farts Whore is what I almost said.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. I'm intrigued. I really want, and I never even played it, but I wanted to like Kingdom Hearts 3.
You can have mine. I have it. I don't even remember why. I bought it and I played it for like an hour.
Because didn't you buy it for like $4 or something?
Maybe.
It kept getting like cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
I got to go back on Amazon and check, but.
I don't know.
Kingdom Hearts.
Sora doesn't even look like the same person. Like, you can tell it's Sora, but they're going for a completely different art style, which is fine. But when the whole point of the game is mixing with Disney, I feel like this is going to be a vast departure.
But then Goofy and Donald show up.
I think Goofy and Donald will still be in it, but I don't see this being like, ooh, you're in the Little Mermaid world, and ooh, now you're in
he's
Lion
just
King
in a
world.
city.
Like, yeah, I don't see it being like the other ones. I think this is going to be more toned down Disney. I think it's just kind of going to be more of an original, not story, but like, I don't think you're hopping around between Disney worlds. I think you're in just kind of your own world with Donald and Goofy and maybe some other cameos from other. Like, I feel like Kingdom Hearts was about Disney. Yeah. It was like, let's make up some new characters that can go to these different areas. And I think now it's going to be like Sora and Riku, if he's still alive. I don't even know what the story is at right now. It seems like they're well enough established to where they're just like, okay, this is their game now. Donald and Goofy will still be there, probably Mickey, but it's not really about them and Disney anymore. That's kind of how I see this going, which we have Final Fantasy. Like, right. I want it to be, and I hope I'm wrong, but I like Kingdom Hearts. Do I like Kingdom Hearts? What I like about Kingdom Hearts is the Disney stuff, not the other stuff. So I'm hoping I'm wrong, but that's just kind of the vibe I'm getting so far. Yeah. But I'm not holding my breath for this. Now, we've already seen what would appear to be gameplay footage, although you could also... you could see it doesn't really mean much. Yeah. So maybe
he was bouncing around like Spider-Man.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's not super far. I don't think we're going to have to wait. It's not like this is going to be on PlayStation 6. Well, but I bet it's at least, 22? I bet this is a 25 game.
I wonder what I didn't click the article because I didn't have enough energy to, but I think it was Kotaku or somebody was tweeting out that, or maybe it might have been, I don't remember who it was, that some people think they're seeing Star Wars references in the trailer.
There's like, ooh, there's this thing here. Is that a lightsaber? I'm like,
so it was just like
a bit of a stretch.
A glowing line?
Not even,
something?
It was just like the hilt or whatever, like the hand, the physical, just like, ooh, is that what I'm seeing here? Now, there's a lot of cool. Now, if you really take Disney as like the expanded Disney, if you all of a sudden bring in Spider-Man and Iron Man and Darth Vader, like, okay, you're really onto something now. I don't think they're going to go that hard. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some Star Wars stuff going on. I don't think we're going to see Marvel or anything, but I don't know. It could be cool, but I'm not in yet.
Thanos comes out and snaps away Goofy and Donald. So yeah, no date, of course, and they also didn't discuss any platforms. But at this point, you have to assume this is a current gen only game and PC. Yeah, there's no way that game is going to come out on PS4 and Xbox One. There's no way, especially by the time it comes out. And they did say, I guess it's being developed right now on Unreal 4, but they are going to be upgrading it to Unreal 5 before the game is fully done. It'll take the graphics to never before seen, whatever they said. So I thought it looked cool. But the only thing I remember about playing Kingdom Hearts 3 was running around in a forest or something. And I had my little Keyblade thing, and I could do like a spin attack. Donald and Goofy. Donald and Goofy were there, and there were like these shadow things that I had to fight. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on. And I didn't really like the combat either. But
Yeah.
You can have it. I don't
see myself playing it.
You can get that platinum.
Honestly, I didn't even really like 2. Everybody else seems to love 2.
Yeah.
I liked 1 a lot at the time.
Wait,
I don't
did
think
you
it's
buy the 1.5, 2.5, 365
and
over
I
2?
I played through 1 again.
That's right. Yeah.
I've beaten that game at least 3, maybe 4 times. It hasn't aged that well, but it's still a fun. Like, I enjoy it. Kingdom Hearts 2, it definitely seems like they took everything about 1 and just tried to make it bigger and better and, expanded on everything. But, like, 2 was already getting more away from the Disney stuff. And I felt like I was playing forever before I finally got to, like, a Disney location. And I'm just like... and then they do the thing that I hate in games where it's like...
Take away your powers?
Well, not even that. It's just like... You think you're going to play Sora, but guess what? Now you're just playing as this other guy, but there's a connection. They're in different worlds, but they're kind of one. And I'm just like, I'm so confused, and I don't think I got halfway through that game. And I just like, nah, this is not for me. I'm done.
I think I saw that somebody said it was even though this is Kingdom Hearts 4, it's the 12th Kingdom Hearts game, I think is what they said. When you count the PSP games and the 365 over 2.
And the GBA. Yeah. I don't know.
People are happy. Be happy for what you want to be happy for. I can't. After the limited amount of time I did with 3, I was like, this is definitely not for me. And the last item on the news list, this one's just interesting. This comes from Video Games Chronicle. Seems like some people's PlayStation Classics games are just expiring out of nowhere. As summarized by Kotaku, multiple users have reported that their PS1 Classic version of Chrono Cross now displays a decades-old expiration date and will not boot after being downloaded. The issue coincides with the release of the new Chrono Cross remaster for modern consoles. However, there is evidence that the problem extends to other older games too. On social media, users have reported similar decades-old expiration dates, preventing them from playing games such as Final Fantasy VI, Run Factory Oceans, and Unit 13. One Reddit user even claimed that their entire PS Vita library has now been made inaccessible. Sony Interactive Entertainment is not yet respond to these reports. Kotaku suggested that the issue could be related to the quote-unquote Unix epoch, which is when engineers set arbitrary dates designated as the beginning of an operating system's lifespan. Speculated that some bug could be defaulting PlayStation game license expiration to the Unix epoch. The reports yet again highlight the issue of game preservation in the digital world. In March 2021, Sony announced plans to close the PlayStation Store on PS3, Vita, and PSP. However, following a backlash from players, the company made a partial U-turn the following month, saying it would no longer close the PS3 or Vita stores, but was still planning to shut down the PSP store, which it did last July. And then just an anecdote here. Earlier this past week, former Sony Computer Entertainment America boss Jack Tretton, good old Jackie T, said he wishes Sony had thrown more support behind the PlayStation Vita, saying that it was, quote, orphaned a little bit, end quote. Yeah, me too, Jack. Me too. Hey, John. Oh, John, that was like 13 minutes ago. Sorry, bud. This is just, I just want to bring this up because like everything going on with the talk about, we finally know what PlayStation Plus is going to be without knowing what the games are. We know they're going to shut down the PS3 store and the Vita store probably sometime this year. Now these games just like, it is weird, I will say, that it's Chrono Cross. When the remaster...
I'm so confused. So what is happening?
So if I had posted it with images in here, people are going on their Vita to play their PS1 classics that they've downloaded.
Okay, I'm with you now. I'm like, PS1 Classic. At first, I'm thinking of like the PS1 Mini, and then I'm like, wait, they literally just mean an old school PlayStation 1, but then it says after downloading it, I'm like, I don't think you could download game. It's talking about on Vita.
But it's like the game is just sitting on their system, and they go to click it, and it's like, no, sorry, this game expired in 1969. You cannot play it ever again. They're like, So it's just another one of those things that like... we don't know how good their backwards compatibility is going to be. They still can't emulate PS3 on PS4 or PS5. They're going to shut down the PS3 and Vita stores. They already shut down the PSP store. You can't develop any more games for the Vita. It's just like Oh, that's what I was going to say. The timing with Chrono Cross is odd because the remaster just came out, but it's other games too. It's just like, I don't know. There's something I don't know. I love Sony. I love PlayStation. 9 times out of 10, I have no idea what the hell they're doing, or if they know what the hell they're doing.
It's just always such a mess.
So I don't know. Hopefully, it doesn't become a big issue, but I did want to throw it in here just in case. Now it's time for the wrap up. Sean, I hate that I didn't get a chance to see this, but the wife was gone, so I just didn't really have a chance to. Y'all didn't go see it, did you?
Mm-mm.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in the U.S. earned, I should have updated this, $72.2 million in its opening weekend.
That's awesome.
The biggest video game movie launch of all time, and it is on track to be the highest grossing video game movie of all time.
Have you read, I mean, is it as good as everybody wanted it to be? Have you read? I know the Rotten Tomato audience score was like 99 or something.
Was it really?
It was. I mean, it made.
And Rotten Tomatoes was, last time I saw it was like the mid 60s or something, I think.
Yeah.
I've read it's good. What Jeremy Johns said is like all the parts where it's Sonic doing Sonic stuff is amazing. He said some of the people stuff, it's like you had to have people in the first movie, I guess.
Audience score 97.
Wow.
So
I love that poster recreated.
That's
the
so
box
good.
That it's like you had the people in the first movie to give it some weight or something, so you don't just have Sonic running around. Although, I mean, you could have had him just running around Green Hills, but whatever. But now that you've got these people in here, there's like the people side of the story, and it's like it's just in there because you feel like you have to have it. But when it's like Sonic doing Sonic stuff, he's like, it is just pure like nostalgia, amazingness. It's awesome. Apparently, there's Easter eggs everywhere. I would like to get to go see it this week, but I don't know if it's going to work out because my life is so busy.
No.
But yeah, and my boys want to see it, so I'll definitely get to it at some point. Maybe I'll go Saturday morning. Or I mean, not morning, but like early afternoon. Oh, Nick's got guitars. Under pressure. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Returnal won Game of the Year at the BAFTAs, and it won 4 awards overall. Those were the most awards by any one game, and it won Game of the Year there. The BAFTAs are very highly regarded. It's like I should go back and play this, but I just don't know.
So good for them. I'm happy for them, but Returnal feels like it was decades ago.
I know.
Like, I guess it was. I mean, clearly it was just last year.
It was
like,
a year ago.
It does. I don't know.
Because it came out.
If you would have just asked me, quick answer, when did Returnal come out? I would have been like 2020. 100%. I would have said 2020.
Well, time means nothing now in this post-COVID world.
Yeah.
Halo Infinite. It was announced Season 2 is coming up on May 3rd, and it will be the Lone Wolves update. People are like not happy with Halo with 343.
Yeah, I don't know what they've done. But
I never went back and played it after I made it number 8 on my Game of the Year list last year, and I was like, I don't want to play this. So I don't know what I was thinking. It was after I got in one of those vehicles, and it's like I don't even know if you remember me saying this, but it's not like L2
the
makes you
controls
go.
are weird.
You like
the stick.
You hold
forward.
the left stick forward to and then you steer here, and then you brake by going. I was like, I cannot. I can't. It's one thing. It made sense when I got in a little glider kind of like Star Wars thing that just was off the ground. For some reason with that, I could wrap my mind around it. When I was in the Warthog, not the Warthog, whatever, it was like a 4-wheeler, I was like, I can't make this work. This makes, because it's the exact same controls. I was like, this makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
Ubisoft, it looks like they're developing a new Ghost Recon game, which is codenamed Over. All capitals. Also, Breakpoint will not be receiving any more content as they move on to the next Ghost Recon game. I think the last thing they got was like last fall, so it's been dead for a while. Square Enix, as we talked about earlier, has said that they have no plans for a Chrono Cross sequel or a new Chrono game. Based on how they did the remaster, they should probably just let it die. Because apparently it runs anywhere from like 10 frames a second to 45. And they said sometimes like you just walk across the screen and it's like, I'm like, this is a PS1 game that you didn't just like emulate. Like you actually, quote unquote, remastered it. And this is, so like, God knows what we're going to get with the PS Plus collection.
Wow. Yeah.
I am definitely, I'm going to just wait until I see a lot of YouTube video. First, the games list, most important.
Yeah.
Lots of YouTube, lots of reviews, listening to Colin, listening to IGN, like Damon, all these guys. Like, I want to know. I'm not just going to be like, yep, sign me up.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely is
because I don't trust him.
Cause for concern. All I want, like, I know Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, whatever, like, it's dead. We're never going to get a new one. All I would want is, like, give me Chrono Trigger HD 2D, and that's all.
Oh my god,
that's all I want out of Chrono Trigger from here on out, and I could die happy. But even that's probably too much to ask for.
But it's crazy. Like, they did a remake of Secret of Mana. They did a remake of Trials of Mana. They did a Secret of Mana collection, or a Mana collection, whatever it was called. It was just the old games bringing forward. All ran great. Now, people don't like the art style of the remakes, whatever. I don't care about that. But like, they ran well. They ran. You know, like like. Oh, it's just so mind-boggling. Trek to Yomi has a release date. It's coming out in May for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. It also reminds me, Salt and Sacrifice is coming out next month.
Ooh, yeah.
That'll be another platinum for you, I'm sure.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Metroid Dread got its previously announced Boss Rush mode, which is a free update, so you can download that now and play through all of those bosses. I've thought about going back, but at this point, I'd be so rusty.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going back.
Mario Golf, the N64 version, is the latest N64 game to come to Switch Online's expansion pass on Tax Day, April 15th. Did you do your taxes?
No, because we owe like $700 or something. So I'm like, I'm going to wait till the last minute to pay that. But yeah. Stray,
the game about the stray cat, has been rated in South Korea, so it looks like it may be coming out soon. I'm interested in that game, but I really, at this point, it's been so long since I saw anything from it. I'm like, wasn't it just a cat walking around with a backpack or something? Like,
pretty much, yeah.
This just broke today. This is interesting. Sony and the Lego company have each invested $1 billion into Epic Games to help them building their metaverse. Why is this just came out? Why does everybody, we're going to be talking at work about a metaverse. You can guarantee believe it. I don't know what I'm saying. You can damn well believe it. Like, why is this just like the thing now?
I have no idea.
Everybody has to have a metaverse. I don't even know what a metaverse is. Walmart's got people shopping in VR. I'm like, why the hell would I want to do this? I can, if I'm going to buy,
just go to a website.
I'm going to go click, add to cart, go pick it up. I don't want to go, ooh, let me look at these virtual Cheerios. Like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
And the last item on the wrap up, Activision Blizzard announced that it will be converting around 1,100 quality assurance testers from contractor to full-time employees with pay raises and benefits. But Raven Studio will not be included because of their ongoing unionization efforts, and that would be against labor laws. So, well,
no.
So clearly with Activision doing this, they're like, hey, U.S. government, we're changing the culture. We said we were going to do it. Look, just let it go through. Please let it go through.
Yeah.
I still can't believe they only had to pay $18 million for their lawsuit when they're being purchased for $68 billion.
Yeah.
It's chump change. What's not chump change is this episode of the Two Player Co-op podcast, even though it is a little bit shorter than other episodes. There wasn't a lot to talk about this week, but we talked about it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see about next week. Just be on the lookout. If nothing else, there'll be a Versus episode for you. We'll get that recorded here at some point soon. And until the next time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.